3-loss record in 4th, whilst Lietkabelis are in 7th with a 2-win, 4-loss record. After tonight's game, we are at the midpoint of the Basketball Champions League regular season. Every team will have played every team in their group, and that gives us a really good idea of who's on course for the playoffs. Here's game day 7 in Group A. Alongside our game here, you have Oostende taking on Torrent, Sassari Manresa, and Turk Telekom taking on Strasbourg. That last game will be tomorrow. The other 3 games this evening. A busy slate of games here in Group A. Both these teams that we have here this evening, they're big names in the Basketball Champions League. Both will be expecting it to make it to the playoffs, but it is a tough task. Only the top 4 teams from each group earn their way through to the round of 16. Here are our standings in Group A. As you can see, Turk Telekom top of the group. Our teams here this evening, Holon just sitting that lucky 4th spot at the moment. Whilst Lietkabelis with only 2 wins sit in 7th. But as you can see, no unbeaten teams in the league, no teams in this group without a win to their name. So a very competitive group indeed here in Group A. These are our visitors, Holon. Well, they play the game with a reckless abandon, that's for sure. They flat out try and outscore their opponents. It certainly makes for interesting basketball, but maybe not always the result that they'd want. Here's their roster, and you really do have to look at Marcus Foster in the backcourt as the main man. Huge season for him, averaging over 18 points and 4 rebounds a game. Their front court slightly diminished, though. They've parted ways with veteran forward Latavius Williams, and he was averaging nearly a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds for him. Interesting to see how things change up for Holon. But across to our home team, Lietkabelis. Well, they're the polar opposite to Holon, and they'll look to make this more of a game of chess. They'll aim to play it in a low-scoring manner, defense being the focus for them. Here's their roster, and we'll be looking at experienced big man Željko Sakic. He'll be critical for them this evening, one of only 2 players in double digits. And also look out for Tomas Dimša in the backcourt. He has the potential to be a game changer. He had 19 points against Torrent back in game day 5. They'll be hoping he's on form again here this evening. Fans in the stands ready to get ready for this one as we're about to have the player introductions here in the arena. And you can see Marcus Foster, the main man there, offensively for Holon. Getting ready for the game. And not only are they a really high-scoring team, but they're also exceptionally efficient how they score those points. Highest field goal percentage in the entire Basketball Champions League this season. Only team with above 50% from the field. They're averaging 51.4% field goal shooting percentage. They lead Group A in scoring, 92.5 points per game. What entertaining basketball that they put on. The issue is, however, that they're the second worst defense in the group. They ship over 90 points a game on the defensive end. But they know how important a win this evening would be. If they pick up the win here on the road in Lithuania, that will keep them in the top 4 at the midpoint of the regular season. And obviously, that's the big target. That's the first milestone for all these teams, making it through to the round of 16, through to the Basketball Champions League playoffs. That's the big one, as the home team, Lietkabelis, are now being introduced to the crowd in the arena. As I said, they want a slower, they want a low-scoring game. They want to grind it out. They're a lot more tactical. And they play on their strengths. One of their biggest strengths is, bizarrely, their free throw shooting. The best in the Basketball Champions League, shooting 81.4% from the free throw line. And if they can make that work for them this evening, it could be the key to taking a win. Also on a little bit of momentum as well. They've won their last 2 Basketball Champions League games. That was against Torrent and Strasbourg. Could it be 3 games in a row? They started the season with 4 losses. So they really have flipped the switch in the last couple of weeks. They'll be hoping to continue that momentum. The issue they have is, though, their history against Israeli opposition isn't necessarily the best. They're yet to beat an Israeli team in the Basketball Champions League. Only played an Israeli team twice. That was Jerusalem last season. They lost both those games, both home and away. They'll be hoping to pick up their first win against Israeli opposition here this evening at home. Here are our officials for this evening's game. We have Manuel Mazzoni, Apostolos Kalpakis and Fernando Calatrava. That's from Italy, Sweden and Spain respectively. They'll be making sure everything is above board for us here this evening on the hardwood. And an awful lot of the Basketball Champions League is played out within the coaching teams as well. They'll play their parts, both coaches, very different styles, very different types of coaches for both teams, but they'll have a big part to play. As we see the final warm-ups underway now. Probably slightly more pressure on the home team. They know they need to take the win here this evening. If they do, they'll move on to the same record as Holon. They'd move on to a 3-4 record for Holon, though. It would keep them above the 500, the magic 500. That would move them to a 4-3 record and keep them in those top 4 spots, those critical top 4 spots. Just 3 minutes now until the opening tip-off. There's a graphic for your officials. Plenty of talent on display for both these rosters as well. Plenty of experience across Europe. And some players in fine form. Here's your starting 5 for Holon. Copain, Howe, Klein, Simhon and Foster will be the starting 5. As I said, Foster, the explosive scoring threat. But plenty of talent throughout that roster. Coach Druker there in his first season with Holon, but a wealth of coaching experience. Started his coaching career all the way back in 1996. Slightly different for Coach Chanak. Relatively young head coach, just 43 years of age, but already some big achievements on his honours list. Includes winning the Serbian Cup with Partizan back in 2018. His third season as head coach just his second season with the Lietkabelis, Sakic, Lietkabelis, Sejus, Dimša and Valinskas will be the starting 5 for the home team. As I said in the build-up, Thomas Dimša, one of those players that can certainly turn a game, shooting 46% from the perimeter this season in the Basketball Champions League, and a real talent. Just slightly inconsistent at the moment. Lietkabelis will be hoping that he picks up the pace for them. As for Holon, as we see the 5s coming onto the floor, and I take this opportunity actually just to remind you, the best way to stay up to date with the Basketball Champions League is to download the official Basketball Champions League app, completely free. It's available on Android and iOS. So I suggest you get your phones out now, get that downloaded. You can stay on top of the box score throughout this evening's game. Provide your own analysis, really. Also, your opportunity during the weeks to pick up highlight plays and news, views, and all the latest going-ons within the Basketball Champions League. A really great app. Certainly know I use it an awful lot to stay on top of things. So download that app now before we get started. It will be a great companion, not just for this evening's game, but for the entire Basketball Champions League season. As we just wait for Holon starting 5 to take their place on the floor. Lietkabelis out early. Sejus is going to go for the tip. Looks like it's going to be up against Howe. And here we go, game day 7 underway here in Lietkabelis in Lithuania. Group A action between Lietkabelis and Holon. So much to play for. Two big names in the tournament going head to head. And straight away, that man, Thomas Dimscher, he's in on the action, gets himself an early 2 points. And that is a great sign for the home team. Hal now at the top. He hands it off to Copain, to Klein. Patient movement here from Holon. Slips inside. Smart move from TJ Klein. Real heads up play. Knew the shot clock was running down, knew exactly how long he had left. Back inside to Dimscher. Quick pass now to Valinskas. He's off target, and Hal works hard to get the rebound. It's already a scramble on the floor. Klein gets it back to Hal, who brings it up over the half. But he loses the handle, and it's going to be a 3-on-1 break for Lietkabelis. Couple of quick passes. Valinskas, another pass. Wonderful team transition for Lietkabelis. And Dimscher picks up his second score of the evening already. TJ Klein now. Hands it off to Foster, back inside to Klein. Klein going to go to work against Dimscher again. They're looking to exploit this height advantage that Klein has, but an offensive foul called on TJ Klein. Dimscher with good defense as well as offense here in the early stages. As we watch him back down and watch that left arm, that's a good call by the officials. He's hooked him out the way. Drive inside, Dimscher's blocked but draws the foul. And he's been the game changer early on here. That one's going to be chalked up to Hal. Let's watch a replay. Little shake, gets the first step, and well, you could call that either on the right arm reaching in to push away or on the left arm coming across and drawing the contact. Dimscher at the line for two. 75% from the free throw line so far this season. Very short with that attempt though. This season, his first experience of the Basketball Champions League. First season with Lietkabelis as well. Connects with the next, and he's already got all 5 points for Lietkabelis in the opening going here. Copain now almost loses the handle, gets it to Klein. Now to Foster. To Hal. Good ball movement here by Holon. Copain, wide open corner three is good to go. Beautiful patience by Holon. Almost a travel there from Sakic. Another foul going to be chalked up to Holon. As we see Coach Chanak there in deep thought. That one's going to be penciled against Foster. We have a 5 points apiece tied game here. A little under 2.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Dimscher now. Good ball movement. Goes inside. Sayus now. Back out. Sakic for three. Oh, he's way off target with that one, but the awkward rebound comes out. But the officials have blown a whistle, not sure what for. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if there's an issue with the shot clock, whether it reset, but it shouldn't have because it didn't hit the ring. Sakic is pleading the case, saying his shot did clip the ring. I think there's just clarification needed now. Looks like they're going to say actually it was a shot clock violation, so it's going to be a Holon ball as much as Jelko Sakic is pleading with the officials. Foster now. Hands it off to the side to Troy Copain. To to Klein. He's going to hand it back to Copain. Inside, nice pick and roll. Skips to the corner. Quick ball movement again. Foster's not open though. Slides inside. Oh, and gets the lucky roll off the iron for 2. Foster gets his first score of the game. Absolutely vital for Holon on the offensive end. Marcus Foster averaging just over 18 points a game. Dimsha slides inside. He's rejected cleanly this time by Howe. Klein wide open from the corner. In and out for the 3. Big rebound by Howe, but he misses the lay-in. Rebound falls into the hands of Simhon. 3 for him is in and out, and Holon are having the opportunities, just not executing effectively at the moment. Sakic now in the low post, looking to go to work against Klein. Little fake, kicks it back out. Good defense by TJ Klein there. And the long 3 is no good, but Sakic got good position and pulls in the offensive board. Valinskas is up short this time. Oh, big rejection by Martinez Sayas. Great timing defensively. Valinskas for 3. He's off short. Long outlet pass is thrown down with 2 hands by Marcus Foster. Good heads-up play by Klein. Read his teammate had leaked out. And that's going to put Lietkabelis on the back foot. They know they're going to have to potentially leak back on defense quicker, not challenge the offensive rebound quite as hard as they would otherwise. Sakic, turnaround jumper out of the post is no good, but another offensive rebound for Lietkabelis inside to Sakic. And instantly he's identified that Copain isn't strong enough to stop him from posting up, and he's using that advantage fully at the moment. Let's see a replay now. Yep, you see the hands-on from Copain. He's not happy with the officials. And we're going to see Guy Panini enter the game earlier than we would have expected as Klein goes to the bench. Sakic now. Such an influential character, Željko Sakic. 31 years of old, so much experience, so much winning around Europe. Dimsha for 3. And the rebound battle between Howell and Sayas continues. Foster shaping up. Oh, nice little hesitation. Kicks it out. Simhon for 3 and drains the 3. And Holon have opened out. A 7-point lead now. And that's going to force Coach Chanak into a timeout. And Holon are getting it all their own way at the moment. It's falling into a high-scoring game. That plays into the hands of Holon. And Coach Chanak wants to talk things over. Let's head to his huddle. Very passionate timeout from Coach Chanak. Apologies for some of the more colourful language you'll have heard in that timeout. Sure you can appreciate how much is on the line for the coaches and players alike. He's not been impressed by the defense offered up by his team so far in this game, and that's led to a 7-point lead for Holon. Lietkabelis got out to a good start, but only player to score for them is Thomas Dimsha. They'll need more offensive options than that if they're going to pick up this critical win here. As Holon return to the floor. Seven-point lead for Holon. 5.5 minutes just over gone in this first quarter. Inside to Sakic, little fake, long two is good to go for Željko Sakic, and that's good timing for him to come to life. He's their leading scorer. He's actually the only European player to have scored over 100 points so far in this year's Basketball Champions League. Oh, nice pass inside to Howell, and a real brain switch off moment for the Lietkabelis defense. Mantas now into Sakic, skips it, Lietkabelis, no good. Oh, what a hustle play though. Real great chase down by Maldunas. Watch his eyes, he doesn't take them off the ball. Follows that offensive board through as Lietkabelis sit in a 3-2 zone right now. Good movement though. Howell inside, and the zone works this time. Good defense by Margiris Normantas there in the low post. Playing straight up one-on-one post defense against Howell is not an easy task. Sakic with the baseline drive. He might have lost a few steps since his prime mid-20s, but he still has the skills, still has the guile to find a way to the basket. Yeah, Kabbalah still in this. Almost a switching 3-2 zone. Foster's no good from outside, and it's worked so far for Lietkabelis. The defensive changeup has disrupted Holon's offense. Maldunas receives the low post pass. And gets the bucket to go, and Lietkabelis, the angry timeout from Coach Chanak has worked for them. It really is a different team that's come back to the floor after that timeout. Simhon for three, off target. Valinskas scoops the pass up. Oh, inside, what a wonderful vision. Oh, unfortunate for Lietkabelis not to make that one count. To Howell, to Simhon, to Foster in the corner. Oh, what a crossover, jumps inside, floats up, but the defense is good once again from Lietkabelis, and in particular, that man there, Željko Sakic. Floats inside, off the glass, sweet move by Margiris Normantas. And how the table has turned from the timeout. Outscored them 7-2. Wonderful change of fortunes, wonderful coaching move by Coach Chanak. What has Coach Sharon Druka got to answer that, as the game of chess between these coaches has started already? And you see the difference in coaching styles there. Much calmer timeout from Coach Druka, using all his years, all his experience to full effect. He knows his team's laden with talent, and it's the details that they need to focus on. Get some of those smaller details right, and things will go their way, as we're seeing Malachi Richardson come into the game for the first time, the young guard. Foster now. Hands it off. Panini in the pass inside. Would have been an easy score for Klein. Almost in the end, Gabrielis Maldunas' foul was a smart one. Also going to see Ryan Thompson come into the game for the first time for Holon. As Troy Capane goes to the bench, and Almost stolen away by Valinskas. Panini now with the ball. Looking for options to hand it off, but the defense has ramped up from Lietkabelis, and it's off the hands of Marcus Smart. Lietkabelis defense is performing very, very well in the closing stages of this quarter. It looked like the Holon trailer was going to continue on the offensive end. Absolute juggernaut of an offense they've had so far in the Basketball Champions League this season. But Lietkabelis have ramped up the gears defensively, and the momentum and flow of the game has fallen towards their more defensive ways. Tough shot there from Maldunas. Didn't quite get it out of the right piece of the hand, almost out of the heel of the hand rather than on the fingertips. Klein now. Panini for three. Off target. And Holon have started to struggle from the perimeter. Normantas against Thompson. Gets the screen from Maldunas. Doesn't use it fully. Will this second time though. Oh, nice little hesitation, but the Thompson defense is good. Comes back out to Olujabi, but that's no good either. Foster out at the races. Floats to the basket, but an unusual miss there from Marcus Foster. And Holon are looking a little rattled offensively right now. 8 seconds left in this first quarter. Valinskas for three. He's up short. Foster will just dribble out. The final seconds of this first quarter. Wow, what a game of ebb and flows. Lietkabelis got out quickly. Holon then pushed out. Lietkabelis pulled it back though, end of 10. Lietkabelis 15, Holon 14. Here are some of your highlights from that first half. An interesting battle between these two. Very different styles at different stages in that first quarter. They impose themselves in different ways. With Lietkabelis getting out to a good start before Holon's offensive juggernaut kicked in. Already we've got 5 players for Holon registering on the scoreboard. 4 for Lietkabelis. Leading their scoring is Thomas Dimscher. He scored all 5 of their first points for them. As for Holon, Marcus Foster's, as you expect, played every second of that first quarter. Only on 4 points though. They'll be expecting more from him this evening. But Lietkabelis will be the happier of the two. Remember, it plays into their hands if this becomes a slower game. A much more tactical chess type affair for them. There are your shooting statistics. As you can see, Lietkabelis deadly inside, and they really are. As for Holon, an underwhelming performance so far in that first quarter. Remember, they have the highest field goal percentage in the entire Basketball Champions League, over 51%. Expect their shooting percentage to increase as this game advances. So here we go, start of the second quarter here in Panevėžys. As Lietkabelis take on Holon, Group A, game day 7 of the Basketball Champions League. Klein now looking to back Lekunis down to the basket. Can't get it to go, but he has earned himself a trip to the line. As Lekunis picks up his first foul. TJ Klein at the line, not a great free throw shooter, only 47% from the free throw line so far this season. Had some big games though. Scored 12 against Strasbourg back in game day 4. His 3rd season with Holon, his 3rd season in the Basketball Champions League, so one of the household names in this tournament. Can Holon take the lead on the back of those two makes? Inside now to Olujabi. Olujabi looking to go to work against Foster. Floats up high, but a little bit too heavy-handed with the finish. Klein now, nice pass inside. Quick ball movement by Holon. Wonderful team offense. Panini off target with the 3. Tries to draw the foul. The officials are having none of it, though. Valinskas waits for the Malduna screen, steps inside. Oh, big step back and drains the 2. Alice Valinskas. 2 Valinskases in the Lietkabelis team. Thompson now looking to feed Klein, but he's overcooked that one. A little bit too much on the pass. But you have to give credit once again to the Lietkabelis defense. Really is working well, stifling Holon. And Holon have thrown quite a few looks at Lietkabelis so far. They've looked to the perimeter as well as going into the post. Neither way has bared too much fruit so far. Oh, stolen away, out at the races. Easy one-handed jam for Marcus Foster. He's up to 6 points personal. And the back and forth affair continues as Holon recapture the lead. Lekunis going up against Malachi Richardson, and Richardson's going to get called for the foul. Malachi Richardson there, just 23 years old. A massive opening game to the season as we see a replay of Foster out and flying high. You do have to look out for that. You don't score 18 points without any of them being in the transition. Valinskas now. A little shake, looking to create space. Free throw line jumper. A little bit shallow on the trajectory, so it clips the front of the iron and falls away. Richardson, long 2. Short, rebound pulled down by Lekunis for Lietkabelis. Good defense by Richardson, closing the door on Valinskas. Almost stolen away, but they managed to hold on to it. The long 3 is good. What a huge shot, Magiris Normantis. Wow, beats the buzzer inside the circle at the half. What a huge shot from him. Copain, oh, he answers a 3 with a 3 of his own. Both teams maybe warming up from outside now. Running a little bit of weave at the top, Lietkabelis. Olujabi, mid-range jumper is no good. The rebounding battle is going to be won by Holon. So Richardson steps inside. The defense is good enough from Lekunis. 2-on-2 break now. Lietkabelis can't make it, and he just throws it away. Not a smart play by Lekunis. And Normantis will step in, commit the foul to stop the Holon transition. Just his first foul, second team foul of the quarter for Lietkabelis. As we say, Sayus come back into the game. He had a strong start to proceedings, 4 rebounds in his first 5 minutes. Really was a terror on the boards. As we see Normantis and Olujabi go back to the bench. Sakic also comes back into the game, as does Dimsha. Thompson now. Klein. Smart move by Klein, and it was that first step that won him the lane. Draws the foul against Thomas Dimsha. And you see, as soon as he catches the ball, his momentum is pushing forward, and Dimsha's got no chance of getting out of the way. First foul on him. Foul now. Hands it off to Richardson. Comes back to Thompson. Good defense by Sakic, almost stolen away, but the foul's going to be called on Lietkabelis. That's his second foul, and the final gimme foul of the quarter for Lietkabelis. Holon will now go to the line. Almost 6 minutes left. This could really be costly for Lietkabelis. Long jumper is good from Troy Copain. Lietkabelis now, a little shake. Looking for the roll from Sakic. Not there at the moment, but Sakic is going to work so hard in that low post. Offensive foul's going to get called. Malachi Richardson played that one to perfection. He knew Sakic was going to lean into him. He took the stand. Made sure the officials saw that clearly, and the veteran Sakic just had a favor return there. 4-point lead now for Holon. 5 minutes, 31 seconds left in this second quarter. Thompson wants to drive to the basket. Good coverage by Dimsha, though. Richardson's turn to use the pick and roll. Loses his footing, but the ball falls to Copain. Off target. Big rebound by Howe. No good for him either, though, as the Lietkabelis defense just collapse into the paint. Valinskas now. To Lietkabelis, back to Dimsha. He comes back to Sayus. Back to Valinskas, shot clock down to 8. Back to Sayus, nice handoff to Sakic. Oh, he misses what would have been an end to a wonderful team offense from Lietkabelis. Klein can't hold on to the inbound ball, and you just felt there that Copain had just made the pass split second too soon. DJ Klein unable to get himself established in the low post. As we see Lietkabelis go back to the bench for Lietkabelis. Just didn't quite get himself properly established and can't hold on to the ball. Dimsha now. Feeds the low post. Sayus going to work against Howell. It's been a good battle of the big so far. Sayus wins out, picks up his 5th rebound of the game. Sakic now going to back his way to the basket on this one, that's for sure. Little step back, fade away is a sweet, sweet move from the experienced wingman. Sakic up to 6 points, 50% from the field for him. So influential in the game for Lietkabelis. Out to Panini now. Hands it off to Copain. 4 left on the shot clock. Foster, catch and shoot is good for Marcus Foster. Up to 9 points, leading all scorers alongside Copain. Inside to Sakic. Copain complaining again. Sakic puts up the 3 and drains the 3, and maybe Troy Copain should stop complaining to the officials and play some defense instead. He's cost his team a 3 there. Only the second triple of the game for Lietkabelis. Panini now fakes the 3, hands it inside to Howe. Wow, wonderful backdoor pass. It was slightly behind Foster though. He's saying, my fault. It was a good heads-up play from Richard Howell, the big man. As we see Richardson go back to the bench for Holon. For Lietkabelis. Margetis Normantis comes back into the game. Wonderful pass, but even better defense by Sayus. Really has been an impressive interior presence for Lietkabelis. Into Sias now. Another chance for him to go against Howe. Into the corner for the three. Lietkabelis is no good. Holon out of the races in full flow. And Foster can't get the score, but will pick up the foul. I think that one's going to be on Dimsha. See, Foster just drive to the basket. Second foul on Dimsha. And Foster will go to the line for 2 free throws. Played last season in Korea. Graduated from Creighton in 2018. And really has had an impressive start to life in Europe this season. Marcus Foster, just 24 years old. Exciting future in European basketball ahead of him. As he connects with the second as well. Normantus now. Sias. Back to Sakic. Dimsha. Lietkabelis playing patient offense. Dimsha for three. He knew he was off target. Shot's been really flat. Such a low trajectory here this evening. Always difficult to get it to go when you don't have the arc on the shot. Paulus Valenskas will come back into the game, as Dimsha will take a seat on the bench. Certainly not as profitable in his second spell on the floor as he was in his first. Pregame now. Screen set by Howe. Panini hands it back to Simhon. It's stolen away though. Sakic to the basket. Can't control that one in the end. The defense from Pregame was enough. Panini for three. Nails the three, and Holon open their lead back out to 7. It might not be the high scoring affair that Holon will have wanted, but the 7-point lead once again in their possession has forced Coach Chanak into calling a timeout for Lietkabelis. Let's listen to his huddle. What can he do before the halftime break?
This side, yes. Let's go, this side. Okay. Defense one. They were playing defense, but mistake. I was here, thought that I can. Now we missed layup, 3-point shot, and they still have 32 points there. Guys, you must make something. Okay? Keep shooting. We will make, okay? First offense, yes. This side, okay?
Well, before the game, we talked about exactly what type of game we could look for. For Lietkabelis, we said it needs to be a low-scoring game. A game of chess if they're to win this one. They've got what they wished for. It's a 25-32 point game with under 2 minutes to play in the first half, but they're on the wrong end of that 25-32 points. Holon have lent heavily on every little offensive trick they've got, and that's given them a 7-point lead at this stage. What can Coach Chanak do out of that timeout? Last time he called a timeout, there really was a resurgence for Lietkabelis. Let's see if he gets a similar response this time. Sakic looking to back his way to the basket and just uses all that experience and strength to push down on Simhon. Draw the foul. Only the second team foul of the quarter on Holon though. And that might be a concern for Lietkabelis. Best free throw shooting team in the tournament. Long floater's no good. Sias goes for the rebound, can't hold on to it. Eventually it falls into the hands of Guy Panini. Pregame now to Foster. Catch and shoot for three, and some more string music for Marcus Foster. And he is really starting to find some form. Up to 14 points personal now, Foster. Really to start to warm up offensively. Sakic now against Copain. Working his way to the basket, little fade away, little heavy-handed this time. Sayas once again with an offensive rebound. He's a man on fire, 7 rebounds for him. Sakic inside, gets it to drop. He's up to double digits now. First Lietkabelis player in double digits. Foster gets his own rebound, but gets hustled out the way by Sakic. Foul's going to be called on Guy Panini. Smart foul from Panini though. Stop the transition. He knew Foster was on the floor at the other end. As we see Thompson come back in for Holon. 23 seconds left. Foster, I think, will go to the bench, earn himself an extra minute or so rest. Sakic now hands it back to Normantas, and they're going to run the clock down as low as they can. About a second and a half, 2 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock. Normantas now drives to the basket, will have to come back out, gets it to Sakic. That's a kick ball though. So the final 4 seconds are going to belong to Lietkabelis. Let's see what they do from this out of bounds play. Can they narrow this 8-point lead that Holon have got? Valinskas comes inside, teardrop right hand is good to go. And that is a bright spark at the end of a tough half for Lietkabelis. Great play though by Paulius Valinskas to finish off the first half. As you can see, at the half-time break here in Panevėžys, Lietkabelis 29, Holon 35. There are your shooting percentages from the first half. As you can see, for Holon, it's the three-point shooting that's really working for them. Rebounding battle is pretty consistent at the moment. It really is just that perimeter shooting that is all the difference for Holon at the moment. Here are your top scorers. Only 2 players in double digits. Foster for Holon and Sakic for Lietkabelis. Copain on 9 as well for Holon, though. He shot well from the perimeter. And plenty to talk about in the locker room in the half-time break for both of these teams. Certainly was an interesting first half of action here in Panevėžys. Remember, Group A action between Lietkabelis and Holon. Holon started the game in 4th place, 3 wins, 3 losses. Lietkabelis in 7th, 2 wins, 4 losses. So much to play for between these two teams. Lietkabelis got off to a flyer in that first quarter. Then Holon just turned the gas on offensively. Coach Chanak called that timeout with a few minutes left in the first quarter, and it completely changed the flow of that quarter. Lietkabelis' defense just ranked up the gears, and that enabled them to hold Holon to just 14 points in that first quarter. You've got to bear in mind, Holon score over 90 points a game. So that's a really good defensive effort, but Holon just kept going. And in the second half, they opened the taps a little bit. Second quarter, they opened the taps offensively, scoring 21 whilst holding Lietkabelis to just 14 points. An interesting game in front of us. As I said, Foster leading all scorers, 14 points, a rebound, 2 assists and a steal to his name at the halftime break. Copain, the only other offensive note from Holon. He's on 9 points along with 4 assists. You need to give a little honourable mention to Richard Howe's performance in that first half. 9 rebounds to his name already in the game. Lietkabelis, the wily Željko Sakic, that man there, there's 3 of the 11 points he's got in the first half, along with 3 rebounds. Outside of that, Dimša and Normantas both have 5 apiece. And also, you have to give Sayus a little mention as well, 6 rebounds. And bizarrely, 4 of those are offensive, really crashed the offensive boards hard. Martinez, Sayus in that first half. So much to play for, though, in the second half for both of these teams. It really is a reasonably evenly balanced game we have here in Panevėžys. A real game of swings and roundabouts is how you describe it. Both teams have had a lead. Both teams have squandered a lead. 9 lead changes in the game. Holon have led the game by as much as 10 at one point. They've led the game for 14 of the 20 minutes as well. So they really are in control. But at the half-time, Lietkabelis 29, Holon 35. Make sure you join me for all the second half action shortly.
TJ Klein looks for another backdoor to Foster. Oh, baby! You gotta be kidding me! What a play by Marcus Foster! What a pass by TJ Klein! Oh, my Lord!
Young over to Rachel. And Vasturia picks it up, hands it off, and great play from Vasturia. And hands it off to Murphy, who not only scores, but is fouled on the play.
That is. Drives in, gets to Zima, and Silla just with one of the blocks of the night. Well, that was big time.
Kissick with the one-handed running slam. It was that crossover movement that lost Galdekis, and he explodes to the basket. He's up to 22 points, another 20-plus point game for him.
Broden has it on the ball reversal. You don't stop him. Oh! Get out of that highlight picture. Tony rolled down the middle. As we said, if you don't stop him, and he just threw it hard.
Oh, what a play, the alley-oop to Brown. That was one of the plays of the game right there.
Tenerife need to execute. And now Hertas kicks it back up. Wide open three is good! For Lundberg yet again. Nothing but net. And he loves it. Tenerife love it. Heartbreak for Vefriga.
Yellowbacks now, chance for Gaziantep if they rush. Boy, that was almost a foul on Komalov. Robert goes up for the dunk out of nothing. Goodness gracious.
Yagala close inside with the big thunder jam. And Yagala takes no prisoners with that play.
the top of two machines as defended.
Jim Olusoy gets it to Crawford. Over to Saunders. He puts it up. He had a lot of time left. Oh, he hit the three! Can you believe it? Unbelievable! There will be no overtime. 3-point shot by Sanders.
Paskutinį šio vakaro žaidimo dalyvę Lietkabelis šokėja jau turi kamuoliuką. Jį pagavęs žmogus po 3 kėlinių dalyvaus Kimpul sporto klubo žaidime. Ir pataikys iš aikštės vidurio laimės narystę šiame puikiame sporto klube, tad gaudykite kamuoliuką ir patikrinsime jūsų rankos tikslumą iš karto po 3 kėlinių.
Welcome back to Panevėžys here in Lithuania for game day 7 of Group A of the Basketball Champions League as Lietkabelis take on Holon. We're at the halfway stage of this one. And it's been an interesting chess-like affair here as Lietkabelis trail 29-35 to Holon. And the low-scoring affair was supposed to suit Lietkabelis more than Holon, but Holon, they seem to have adapted well. A lot leans on the shoulders of Marcus Foster, though. He is the main man for them, has been for most of the season, averaging 18 points a game. Well, he's already got 14, and we're only at the halfway stage here. Expect a big, big night, potentially a season-high night for Marcus Foster. For Lietkabelis, they've lent heavily on their veteran, Željko Sakic. He's on 11 points, 3 rebounds in that first half, and he's used every ounce of experience he's got to get to them. Everything in the balance here, a critical game. Remember, if Lietkabelis win this one, they move on to the same record as Holon. Whereas for Holon, if they win, they will stay in the top 4 of Group A. And remember, it's the top 4 teams in Group A that progress to the playoffs. So staying in that top 4 is absolutely critical, more so as the weeks pass us by. Moments away from the start of the second half here now. Waiting for the final few seconds of the half-time break to drip away before we can get started. Both these teams have lost players this week. Latavius Williams left Holon, and Ken Brown finally left Lietkabelis. Here we go, second half action underway here. Group A, Basketball Champions League at the halftime break. Lietkabelis trail Holon 29-35 in what is a critical Basketball Champions League game. Sakic inside. Sayus is fouled by Howell. Smart foul in the end by Richard Howell. He knew that Martinez Sayus had established himself way too low in the post for him to be able to defend him effectively. Foul him before he gets the shot away. Make it a sideline possession. Howell there with his second foul of the game, and it's quickly stolen away by Holon. Good hands there by Simon. Opane comes back to Howell. Howell's going to hand it off to Simon. Into Howell. Already on 9 rebounds. Richard Howell, he's added to his scoring tally as well. Just 4 points now, though. An impressive night on the boards already with 9 boards in the first half. Normantis to Sayus. Good ball movement here by Lietkabelis, and good player movement as well. Sayus rolls to the basket for the one-handed flush. Wonderful textbook offense there from Lietkabelis. Klein now, spin, nice handoff, too hot to handle for Howell though. Dimsha comes back, Normantis. Oh, the short jumper's no good. And he was really left himself in no man's land there. Sometimes a tougher shot to make than the long range effort. That awkward little mid-ranger. Can't quite get your full form. Effectively executed and can mean your shot's off balance. Holon now. Advance the ball over the half. Hot hand in the first half. Foster inside to Howell. Howell goes in right hand, and Richard Howell already 4 quick points in the second half. Only scored 2 in the entire first half, so he's certainly warmed up nicely in this second half. Sakic to the basket. Oh, can't convert the and one play. It was called on the floor anyway. Klein going to get pulled up for that one. Look, just a slight glimmer that he was going to pass it to the corner was enough to lure TJ Klein in. He picks up his second. Holon's Second early team foul of the quarter. 8 minutes still to play. Normantus now. And Foster's going to get called for the foul, and that's 3 early team fouls, and this is not a team you want to send to the line. They are almost automatic from the line, 81.4% from the free throw line this season in the Basketball Champions League. Sakic now, back to Dimsha. Oh, string music for Thomas Dimsha. And Holon's lead is down to just 5 now. Foster back to Klein. To Howe. Pulls up for the long 2. He's off target, and Holon's offense looked exceptionally stagnant in that possession. Sakic. I don't think he could believe the space he had. Sias with another offensive rebound. Dimsha for 3! Another big triple for Lietkabelis. And they have come flying out of the half-time break. They're within 2 now. Foster to the corner. Inside, and Foster finds that sneaky backdoor position. Gets himself 2 off the glass. Settled some Holon nerves, no doubt, with that score as well. Sias sets the screen for Normantus. Lietkabelis now into Sias. He's going to go to work against Howe. Goes strong, too strong. Sakic hustling hard. He's too heavy with that little tip back. Howe now to Foster. And there's the aggressive one-handed dunk from Marcus Foster. 18 points for him now. Wonderful pass from the big man, Howe. Made that play for Foster. Wait to see what the call is there. I think it's maybe a foot violation as we see Malachi Richardson come back into the game for Holon, I think, and also we're going to see Gabrielius Maldunas come back in for Lietkabelis. Lietkabelis now. Trying to find Normantus, not there. Back to Dimsha. He's open for another 3! And he is lighting up from range right now. Thomas Dimsha. We warned about him in the pre-game. He's up to 14 points. Howe with the floaters off target. Back to a 3-point lead now for Holon. You hear the crowd starting to raise the decibel levels. Sakic is fouled. He's gone down like he's been shot. Howell called for the foul, and that could be a problem. Howell is their main interior presence. That's his 3rd foul, and 5.5 minutes left in the quarter, and Holon already in the penalty. Watch Howell come across as he slaps down, and you know Sakic is going to make the most of any contact he gets. That was quite a hard contact across the face. Howell will go to the bench. Sakic will go to the line, and if we thought Lietkabelis were deadly from the line, Sakic is even more so. Best free throw shooter in the entire Basketball Champions League. 87.9% from the free throw line is Sakic. A massive game in game day 5. Jelko Sakic, 32 points against Torrent. As he, as you would expect, hits both from the free throw line. Up to 14 points, Jelko Sakic now. Panini, back to Foster. Inside to Klein. Klein looking to go to work, has to come back out to Copain. Oh, and he hits the 3. And there's your crowd silencer. Lietkabelis inside, Maldunas to Dimsha. Dimsha now. Finds a wide open Valinskas. Oh, and he nails the 3, and this really is becoming a shootout from distance for both these teams. what was a relatively cagey first half has exploded here in the second. Foster catch and shoot. Almost a wedgie, but it falls clear to Sakic. His 8th rebound of the game to Dimsha for 3 again. Off target this time. Sakic, though, is going to get called for the foul as he fights Klein in the paint. And that's his 2nd foul. First team foul of the quarter for Lietkabelis, though, as we see Lietkabelis come back into the action. And Lietkabelis heads to the bench. Pregame now, looking to go past Valinskas. He hands it off to Richardson. Back to Klein. Pregame again at the top. You don't want to leave him open. He's shown he can shoot the ball. Panini for 3, and another 3 rains down from the rafters. Wonderful shooting exhibition by both teams here in the 3rd quarter. Dimsha trying to find some space. He knows he's got a hot hand. Pulls Maldunas up to set the screen. Maldunas now back to Sakic. Sakic almost loses the handle. Manages to find the pass, though. And Dimsha will rattle home a soft right hand. And when you're in a high-scoring affair like this, you have to keep the scoreboard clicking at all times. Richardson fakes a 3 inside with a little soft finger roll. Malachi Richardson. Lietkabelis is going to draw the foul from Richardson. And the young gun certainly has plenty of talent. He just needs to learn to maybe temper it slightly. As we see the shot fake there that Sakic bought hook, line and sinker. As he scores the finger roll on the runner. 2nd foul on Richardson. Lietkabelis at the line for 2 shots. And the 2nd is good to go as well. Into the game now comes Pausch for his first minutes of the competition. Richardson now taking over point guard responsibilities. Across to Shlomo Hausch. Pregame. Looking to run the Horns offense, nothing there though. Under 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Holon only a 2-point lead. Klein draws the foul from Dimsha. And I'm not sure whether Klein going to the line is the worst thing. I think Dimsha picking up his 3rd foul is probably the worst thing for Lietkabelis at the moment. Dimsha obviously 16 points, 6 from 10 from the field so far this evening. A big influence for Lietkabelis offensively this evening. They're going to miss him on the floor. Klein back at the line for the 2nd. Connects with the 2nd. He's up to 6 points personal now. Normantus. For options in front of him, finds Sakic. Sakic is going to go to work. You have a feeling he's going to wait for the double team before he hands it off. Floats inside. And the defense is strong enough from Richardson in the end, and he advances it with pace over the half. Backdoor cut, and an easy score in the end for Hausch. Drives the baseline and he's rewarded. And this is exactly what you want. A player sat on the bench for the entire first half, but when he does see some minutes on the floor, make them count. And that's exactly what the veteran Hausch has done. Timeout called by Coach Chanak. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Okay, so one time cut, okay, one time cut, that's enough, okay? Now start play defense regular. Green defense, okay? Offensively. Play two for you. Pass to Leka, pass back, pick and roll, okay? Defense green, okay? Okay. 2 fouls to give.
Much calmer timeout there from Coach Chanak. You see some of the replays and exactly what Marcus Foster has been doing in this game, and he certainly has had a big game for Holon so far. I have a feeling Marcus Foster will have his fingerprints, DNA all over this Basketball Champions League this season. Really one of the most exciting players in the competition. $18 points, efficiency score of 17 already for Marcus Foster. As we come out of that timeout, 6-point lead for Holon. 2 minutes 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Lietkabelis have given everything they've got in this third quarter to come back into it. Valinskas is up short with that one. Ball back out to Normantas now. A little shake and hesitation, draws the foul from Hausch. Shlomo Hausch. Sends Normantas to the line for 2 shots. An extra the first, 80% from the free throw line prior to this evening. Margaris Normantas. Joined in the summer from Ritus. An extra the second as well. And the long outlet pass has gone out, but it's been knocked away as Hausch thought he was going to get the score, but doesn't. Valinskas now. Slow things down. Hesitation dribble inside from Valinskas. Wonderful move. Just the little stutter as he drives to the basket, enough to get him the space he needed to open the lane up. And the Holon lead is just at 2. Klein, corner, out to Copain for 3. Off target though. Almost wrote that one in the history books. That 3, you expected it to drop. Troy Copain. Nice pass inside, but it's a tough move for Maldunas to execute. Slicing across the basket like that, always going to be difficult at pace. Danini now trying to find some options, goes to Richardson, corner 3 is miles off target, clips the side of the backboard. Normantas, Valinskas, oh, off target for the 3. The rebounding battle's won by Klein, and he's thrown it away. A little bit too hot-headed there from Klein. He thought that Hausch was going to leak out, and he didn't. So Lietkabelis will get another chance. 36 seconds left in the quarter. Traveling violation on Valinskas there. Dragged that pivot foot along when he came to a stop. Klein just explaining to Hausch why it was his fault. Always love that as a teammate when someone comes to explain to you why they think it's your fault and not theirs. Clearly that was Klein's fault. Completely misread the situation. 34.3 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Holon will take possession on the baseline, so just over a 10-second differential. They could go quick and maybe go for a 2-for-1 at the end of this third quarter. You have a feeling they won't, though. They'd rather try and take a high percentage shot than just a quick shot. Copain now hands it off to Foster. Passes inside to Klein, and Klein's off target. Rebound will fall to Valinskas. He's going to slow it down. They'll want to take the last shot of the quarter. They could tie things up. They could even take the lead. Lietkabelis here. Normantas, no good. But he has drawn the foul, and that's the third foul on TJ Klein. That's going to earn a trip to the line for Magiris Nomantas. Chance to tie things up here. 2.1 seconds left in the third quarter. Connects with the first. And gets the second to drop as well. 2.1 seconds to go. What can Klein do with it? Steps back. Three is no good at the end of the third. And what a game we have here in Panevėžys. 3 quarters down. And we are tied 55 apiece between Lietkabelis and Holon. Group A of the Basketball Champions League. Area shooting statistics, and that third quarter was just an outside clinic from both teams. Lietkabelis 6 from 16 at the moment. As for Holon, they're 9 from 19. Such a high efficiency. But you have to give credit to Lietkabelis. They came out in that third quarter ready to go. They'd refocused on the offensive end. They'd almost given Holon a little taste of their own medicine. They outscored Holon 26-20 in that third quarter. You have to bear in mind, Lietkabelis only scored 29 points in the entire first half. So for them to score 26 in that third quarter really is a style change. And that's tough to execute, but they have executed it. The likes of Dimša draining triple after triple after triple. Sakic getting in on the act as well, using all his experience. But it's tough to look past Foster for Holon. He's up to 18 points, had plenty of rest in that third quarter as well. So he'll be ready to go in the final period. But we are finally balanced here in Panevėžys. We couldn't ask for more with 10 minutes to play. 55 to Lietkabelis, 55 to Holon. So much to play for as well. Remember, Holon win, they'll stay in the top 4. Lietkabelis win, they move to the same record as Holon. And we are getting to the business end of the regular season now. After tonight's game, we're at the halfway stage of the Basketball Champions League. So here we go, 10 minutes to play. This Group A game, Basketball Champions League. Lietkabelis 55, Holon 55. A huge, huge game for both these teams. Howell now inside, almost has it knocked away, but manages to finish it with ease. Remember, Howell on 3 fouls though. He needs to be careful. He's an important interior presence for Holon. Sayas now. Hands it back to Lekunis, to Dimša. Skips it, Lietkabelis. Patient ball movement here by Lietkabelis. Oh, and the 3 rattles home for Thomas Lekunis. That is a strong way to start the final quarter as Lietkabelis take the lead. That's going to get the crowd into this one. Flies inside. Ryan Thompson takes back the lead for Holon. Nomantas now to Sayas. Hands it to Dimša. Dimša uses the pick and roll well. It's stripped away, but it's come off Dimša's leg. Great hands from the big man. Richard Howell with another wonderful play. Wonderful quick hands from him. Sayas will come into the game. Stolen away on the inbound though. Into the hands of Lietkabelis for another three. He can't connect with this one, but the rebound will fall back to Lietkabelis. Lietkabelis for three. Off target, rebound in battle. Ball is swatted back again by Lietkabelis. Oh, good quick hands though from Thompson. It's not enough to Sayas. Oh, the big man gets up and throws it down. And you can feel the excitement starting to bubble up in the crowd now. Howe couldn't hold on to it. Ends up just giving it back to Sayas for the big jam. Simhon now, baseline, corner, Foster, three is no good. Lietkabelis hands it back to Normantas. Sayas on the roll, but the lane is closed off well by Howe. Kunis, good ball movement. Lietkabelis for three. Oh, rattles home another three, and you see the fist pump and the reaction from the crowd. Lietkabelis out to a 4-point lead now. Big, big score from him, and the game takes another twist and another turn. Coach Duca will call the timeout. Needs to stem the flow. You can see the faces on the Holon players looking a little bit shell-shocked. This isn't what they were coming here for. Let's listen to his huddle.
Hey, Troy, you go Simhon. We go three ball handlers, not to turn over the ball like this. TJ, you go for Guy. Set the press break. We set the press break, one in the middle, and we start the offense. I want to run 5 down.
There's a replay of one of those recent plays where Howe works as hard as he can to save it for Holon, but only managed to bring it back in to Sayas for the jam. And then there's the Lietkabelis triple from the corner, much at the pleasure of the crowd. I'm going to take a guess that that's the lobster in the crowd. Not necessarily the happiest of faces on the mascot there, but I'm sure deep down that lobster's having a good time. Lietkabelis up by 4. Just over 7.5 minutes to play here in Panevėžys in what has become a critical game for both these teams in the Basketball Champions League. Copain now. Looking to find Howe, but Sayas does a good job to lock out the pass. Klein against Dimsha has the size and strength advantage. Copain for three! Off target. Rebound by Thompson though, and Holon will go again. To Howe. Howe hands it back to Foster. Foster loses the handle as it's stripped away. Officials say it's off Foster's hand though, so it'll be a Lietkabelis ball. And everything seems to be going the way of the home team at the moment. Yeah, it just loses the handle. There's some quick hands there, but ultimately it's off him. Thompson guarding Normantas with ferocity now, and it's off the hands of Normantas, and you can chalk that one all the way down to Ryan Thompson. Working so hard every which way Normantas turned. All he saw was the face of Ryan Thompson playing some tough defense. And Holon chip back into this 4-point Lietkabelis lead. We weren't expecting to say that not too long ago. Holon looked in full control. Copain skips it. Klein, catch and shoot three is off target. Dimsha will grab the rebound for Lietkabelis. You wonder how this is going to play out. Is it going to stay in the high scoring that we've seen since the halftime break? Or are Lietkabelis going to try and bring it back to a low scoring drudge of a game where they try and grind out the win? Sayas almost with a rebound, but Howe once again pulls down a wonderful rebound. And now they slow it down, Holon. And that's 11 rebounds for Richard Howe now. Wonderful play by the big man. Offensive foul is going to get chalked up to Ryan Thompson. First foul of the game for him. And that's just straight good footwork by Thomas Lietkabelis to draw that foul. And we see Sakic return to the action. Arrested Sakic is a scary thing. Just under 6 minutes to play. Expect him to play every last second of this one. Sayers hands it to Sakic, back to Dimsha. Intricate ball movement here by Lietkabelis. Lietkabelis, Sakic for three! Oh, what a way to reintroduce yourself to the game. Jelko Sakic up to 16 points. 7-point lead for Lietkabelis now. They are in full flow, stolen away. Lietkabelis out of the races, hands it back. Valinska, smart move. He saw that Holon had recovered, slows it down. And the foul is going to be drawn from Troy Copain. Smile on his face as Lietkabelis draws a foul from him. Just the second team foul of the quarter on Holon though. And it literally just is that right palm. Needs to move it out of the way, needs to swap it up to a little arm bar. Can't put his hand, can't hip check him. Sakic now to Sayus. Back out to Sakic. To Valinskas. Long jumper is no good. Sayus just swats it back again, and this has been a tactic from Lietkabelis that's worked well. Can't get the rebound, just knock it back to the half court. Sakic inside, tries to draw the foul, comes up short. Sayus can't swat it hard enough this time, and Holon will come away with possession. Copain to Howe. Howe drives inside. Wonderful soft touch from Richard Howe, and he has become indispensable for Holon in this second half. Double-double for him, 10 points, 11 rebounds for Richard Howe. Sakic now, back in Richardson, down. Back out, quick ball movement. Lietkabelis drives to the basket, tries to hand it off to Sayus, does, but he's rejected and fouled. I think Copain is going to get called for that one. Have a look who the officials chalk it to, or is it Howell? If it's Howell, it's his fourth. No, Troy Copain picks up his third team foul of the quarter for Holon as well. That could be a telling statistic. If Lietkabelis can get them in, yeah, good call by the official. Copain hitting his arm. If Lietkabelis can get into the bonus and get to the free throw line, they are pretty deadly. That could see them seal the win from the charity stripe. Sayus now, 5th point, chance to pick up his 6th point of the game along with 7 rebounds. Put a shift in for Lietkabelis this evening. Copain now. Hands it off to Howe. Back to Panini. Copain's wide open. There's been a mismatch. Howe slides inside and one for the big man. That could be a huge, huge play by Richard Howe. Lietkabelis lost their rotations defensively. They weren't sure where to go. The scramble defense often causes fouls, and you can see Valinskas caught way too late helping out. Just his first foul, but he's given up the possible 3-point play. Howe misses it. Copain grabs the offensive board though. How costly could that be? Under 4 to play. Panini for 3, misses it. Not sure why he's put that shot up so early. A contested 3 from distance is not what they will have wanted to see. Dimsha now being harangued by Foster. Foster going to get called for the foul. It's a smart play by Dimsha. You've got your defender putting hands on, just rip your arms through. You're going to draw the foul, just go for the rip through. And you can't have any arguments with that. That's a 101 call for the officials, easy as they come. Dimsha, I think an offensive foul has been called. Is that one on Sakic as Foster hits the floor hard. Frustrated look on Sakic's face. Let's have a look. Oh, I think that's a tough call. I think you'd want to see that one again from a couple of different angles to be able to make a judgment on it, but it looked quite a tough call. 5-point lead, 3.5 minutes to play here. Everything in the balance. Foster drives inside. The finger roll is good from Foster. Jumped out of his own knee brace. Exploded to the basketball so hard that time, Marcus Foster. And the Lietkabelis lead is down to just 3 as we see Coach Druka there barking some orders onto the floor. Numantis into the game for Lietkabelis. And these are the situations as a coach that you love and hate almost in equal measure. You live for this moment because this is when coaches earn their wage. They earn their salary in these games. Balinskas. Numantis for 3. Off target, and don't need to tell you who's grabbed the rebound for Holon, but I'm gonna. That's Howell again, 12 rebounds for him now. And Holon will slow it down. They know they've got a strong half-court offense. They know they can get themselves shot opportunities when they've got a player like Foster on the floor. Oh, but he's lost the handle as soon as I've said it, and Sakic comes away. The shot goes up. That one's no good for Numantis. Hits the deck quite hard, bangs his elbow. But there's nothing going to stop him getting to the line for 2 shots. Wonderful pass by Sakic. You can see his brain whirring. Then he had 2 options. He had Lietkabelis on the left, Sakic on the right, as Foster picks up his 4th foul as well. That's a worry because Foster plays a high-intensity brand of defense. As Lietkabelis goes to the bench for Lietkabelis. But Foster is critical if Holon are going to pick up the win this evening. If he fouls out shortly, it's going to be a big ask for Holon to take the win. Numantis connects with the first of his 2. And the second, he's up to 11 points personal now. Sorry, 12 points personal. Almost stolen away, and Numantis is going to get blown for the foul on Copain. 5-point lead, 2:32 to play. Oh, Copain almost lost the handle, and that lured Numantis in. Second foul on Numantis, 3rd team foul of the quarter on Lietkabelis. Both teams now cranking up the defensive gears, ratcheting things up to the highest levels on both ends. Panini now for Holon. To Copain. They're trying to get Foster open, they do. He feeds the low post. Howell goes to work. What a big play by a big man. Draws the Maldunas foul. Connects with the 2. Let's see the replay. Draws Maldunas in. Needs to be careful. Look at that hook, though. His hand reaches all the way down to his hip, and he leverages Maldunas out the way. But the and one play brings Holon within a single possession now. You feel like the Lietkabelis offense is slightly starting to stutter as well. They'll need to restart it pretty quickly. To Sakic. Sakic now against Copain. Spin move, fade away, jumper, no good. See where the foul's called this time. Is it on Maldunas? It looks like it is. Well, it's one of those where it is a foul, but it's tough when you're the player that's giving it away because you feel like I'm only going for the rebound. I can't see what's behind me. But it's the right call in the end. Maldunas will go to the bench and Sayas will come back into the action. And the battle between Howell and Sayas will continue. Panini now at the line for 2 shots. Both teams in the bonus. Oh, misses the first guy, Panini. Not the best of free throw shooters, just 63% from the line prior to this evening's game in the Basketball Champions League. Almost shoots better from outside, 56% from the three-point line, misses both. And that's when the pressure starts to tell on some players. Normantas now to Sakic, fakes the three, drives inside, draws the foul from Howe. I think that could be his 5th foul. Might be his 4th, actually. Yep, that's going to be his 4th foul. Frustrated with the call. That puts 2 of the key players for Holon in foul trouble. Howell's on 4, Foster's on 4. 2-point lead for Lietkabelis. Tough to play defense when you've got 2 players on 4 fouls who you really can't afford to give up the 4th foul. Looks like Simhon's going to come back into the game. Malachi Richardson heads to the bench for Holon. Sakic at the line. As I said earlier, the best free throw shooter in the Basketball Champions League this season. Look how nonchalant he is, the way he shoots the ball. Like he's done it 1,000, probably 10,000 times, which he probably has in his career. He's up to 18 points personal, and Lietkabelis' lead is back out to 2 possessions, and that's where we are now. We get into this final 1 minute 40. We're down to how many possessions is it going to take Holon to get back into this one? Foster waiting for the Howe screen, uses it well to Panini. Panini just holds it up too long though. Foster trying to shake. Valinskas does so, floats to the basket and gets the 2, and that's what your money gets you with Marcus Foster, a player that can just take the team on his back and score at will. Valinskas, Sakic, fakes again, drives inside, fakes again, corner to Valinskas, back outside, Dimsha 3! Oh, that would have been huge for Lietkabelis if he got it to drop. That would have extended the lead to 5 with just about a minute to play. Not going to happen this time though, and it's going to be a Holon ball. 1:03 to play. Lietkabelis lead by just 2 points now. Copain, plenty of experience from Troy Copain, just 24 years old, but plays with a real veteran mindset. Shot clock down to 9. What's he going to do? Foster doesn't take the 3, drives inside, soft right hands, too heavy. Howe grabs the rebound. He's not going to get it away though. It didn't touch the ring. The shot clock didn't reset. That is a big mistake by Richard Howe. He didn't clock the fact that he didn't get a reset. He didn't get a new 14 seconds because it didn't touch the iron. 37 seconds, about a 13-second differential shot clock, game clock. Holon are not going to foul. They're going to play tough defense, but they can't afford to foul. You don't send a team like Lietkabelis to the line if you can help it. Valinskas now using the Sias screen, drives inside, has it stripped away, but Sias, no he doesn't. It is a steal. Holon now with the ball. 14 seconds to play. What can they do? Panini fakes the 3, drives inside, hands it off to Howe, but Howe knocks it out of bounds, but it's come off a Lietkabelis player's hand. It's going to be Holon possession on the baseline. 8.2 seconds to play. Absolutely breathless in the arena here in Panevėžys. Not sure if a timeout's been called or not. Waiting to find out what the situation is. I'm not sure the officials know who called a timeout or who didn't. Not sure whether they want to review something at the moment. It looks like they're going to go and review an aspect of the game. Maybe it's the possession indication, who it came off last on that final possession. Here's Panini, should have gone to the basket strong. Instead it's come off Howe by the looks of it. It really does look like it might be Howe. Let's have a closer look. This is what the officials are looking at the moment, the exact shots. Oh, that does look like it's come off Richard Howe to me. If so, it's going to be a Lietkabelis ball. Oh, was it off Sakic or was it off Howe? Oh, that is a tough one to call. My instant reaction is it's off Howe. I'll wait to see what the officials say. They're still talking to the TV operator, calling in the third official to see what his opinion is as well. We'll look at it once again. There's Panini to the line. He passes it off, trying to find Howell, who's trailing in. Sakic has stepped across. He gets a hand to it. There's no two ways about that. It does look like it's off Howell's hands to me. It just looks like it's come off Richard Howell's hands. That could be a huge defensive play by Sakic. He's complaining, trying to get the foul, but he might have done an even better play, really, by getting the possession knocked away. Let's see which way the officials call it. They are indeed. They're giving it to the home team. Possession to Lietkabelis. This changes everything. Less than 13 seconds to play here in the arena. Timeout has been called. Players in their huddles, but you think Holon have got a foul straight away, and pretty much every player on the Lietkabelis roster can score the ball from the free throw line, so it's tough to pick. You have a feeling Lietkabelis will hit both. That puts them up to a 4-point lead. You're going to have to score quick then if you're Holon, and then foul again. You're going to have to score a 3, really. That's the only way you're going to chip away in this final few seconds of the game. What a position they find themselves in, leading at 1 point by double digits. They now trail by 2 points with just seconds left in this big Basketball Champions League game. What a position they find themselves in. And you hear the call there. Go for the ball first, but you need to foul, and kind of a golden rule that you've got pretty much a second to try and steal it. If you can't steal it clean, make sure you foul. But again, in the modern game, it can't be an over-the-top foul. You have to make a play at the ball. You have to be trying to steal the ball when you foul. Otherwise, you're going to get that unsportsmanlike call. And that is no good for what Holon need right now. Let's see what they run. You have a feeling it's going to be sending a Lietkabelis player to the line for free throws. Sakic would be their first choice. And there's the foul. It's actually fallen into the hands. Wait to see who that is, actually. Is it Valinskas? Simhon's been called for the foul. Slightly irrelevant at this stage. And yeah, Paulius Valinskas will go to the line for 2 shots. And a phenomenal free throw shooter as we see Lekunis come into the action for Sias. And again, no real surprise. You take out maybe what would be one of your weaker links from free throws and bring in a stronger link. Oh, as we see, rattle home for Valinskas. And that's taken out to a 3-point game, but this is the critical one. This is the big free throw, because this takes it out to 2 possessions and only 6.8 seconds remaining. Oh, and he hits it. That's antifreeze running through his veins. Pure ice. Wonderful play. Another timeout called. That will progress the ball for Holon, so they'll get the ball, I think, in the front court. They'll have to take an early 3 and foul quickly again. The odds are against them, and you can see that on the faces of the Holon players. They know this is a real outside chance. Let's listen to Coach Druka now.
This is Guy, this is Richie. Okay? This will be Marcus, and this will be Mali. Okay? Marcus, you give to Mali screen. Mali, you run to the corner for a shot. Okay? You go between elevator and Guy, you go here. Again, screen. Marcus, you go between Guy and Richie. And Richie, you give to Guy one more over here. So we have few options. Take a good shot. Hey, you go.
If we make bad, it's foul.
Mali, make a fake before you go. Make a fake.
So this really is a last roll of the dice for Holon now. They really need to score a 3. Looking at the 2 would be no good. And it needs to be a quick score as well. 6.8 seconds remaining. They've got some scorers on the team though. You imagine it's looking at Foster or Panini. Double screen for Foster. The pass isn't open to Richardson. It was a pass in the end, though, or are they going to count it as a shot? Sakic is going to get called for the foul. That's his fourth. Again, probably irrelevant. Going to send Richardson to the line for 2 shots. 0.9 seconds off the clock. Not a smart move by Sakic, really. Or if Richardson had been smart, he'd have put the 3 up. He'd have taken the 3 and attempted to score the 3. Instead, he's at the line, I think, for 2 free throws. And Panini goes back to the bench. Klein comes in. A bit more of a rebounding threat with Klein. Are they going to score the first and potentially intentionally miss the second? And Richardson scores the first. He's saying make it. Coach Druker saying make it. They're going to foul again quickly. And again, it's still a real outside chance that Holon can win this one. If they can, it would be a huge masterstroke by Coach Druker. He makes the second. Timeout's going to be called now by Coach Chanak for Lietkabelis. And the game of chess that we talked about in the first half has really cranked up as we're down to the final few pieces on the board. And the win is in the balance. Let's listen into the Lietkabelis timeout. And you have a feeling if Lietkabelis can get this back in bounds, can get an inbound pass effectively and hold on to the ball and draw the foul, surely that should be enough for them to come away with a win. But I say that, and this is why we like the Basketball Champions League. That's why we're in love with this competition, because it throws us up some amazing games of European basketball. Ball inbounded to Sakic, and Sakic is fouled, and he's looked to play for the unsportsmanlike foul. He's played the card pretty hard with the officials. We'll wait to see what they call. Klein called for the foul. Oh, you know what? He's going to get called for an unsportsmanlike, and he has. You see the official there calling the unsportsmanlike foul. He's not played at the ball at all, and that's a smart play by Sakic. He oversold it a little bit, over-egged the pudding slightly. But Klein's going to get called for the unsportsmanlike because he's not played at the ball. He's pulled on his shoulder. There's no play at the ball at all. It's an easy call for the officials. Klein can try and argue all he wants, but the officials, even if they wanted to have some leeway to call something different, they couldn't. That is a 101 unsportsmanlike foul, and I think that is the final nail in the coffin for Holon, as Sakic hits his first and taps his imaginary player's hands in the free throw lineup. Wonderful bit of insight into Sakic's personality there as he drains another one from the free throw line. Just pure automatic from the free throw line. Jelko Sakic. Sideline possession now, 5.3 to play. It's surely out of the way now for Holon as Klein fouls Sakic again, and just an opportunity really for Sakic to rack up a few more points on the box score, increase his scoring average, which he will do again. And Coach Druker is going to be heading back to Israel without the win on the plane, and that's tough to take. They've got changes being made though within Holon. Rumor has it that Angel Delgado will be joining them. 2'8" center, played in the G League last year for the LA Clippers G League affiliate. Averaged 19 points, 11 rebounds in the G League. Played a couple of games for the Clippers in the big show in the NBA. So rumor has it he's going to be joining Holon. Obviously not confirmed at the moment, but that's what we're hearing. That might make a difference, take a little bit of pressure off Owl in the front court. Obviously has been put on with the exit of Latavius Williams, but with 3.6 seconds to play, Lietkabelis are pretty much there. We've got a Holon timeout from Coach Druka. I'm not sure how much magic Coach Druka has, but it's going to have to be the biggest trick in the book if he's going to come away with a win here. The only thing you can be imagining is he's worrying about points differential. That could play into qualification for the playoffs. So, you know, if they go back to Holon and play this return leg at home and, you know, win by more than they lose here, that could play into it. That might be what he's working on now, trying to keep the deficit as narrow as possible.
This is zipper, bounce out, and then Richie get him a back screen. Okay? Richie, watch after the back screen, maybe you can get it under the basket. Every point counts, hey! Every point counts. Every point matters. Guy, you screen.
And we see the Panavaji mascot enjoying himself as well as the dancers on the floor. But as you heard there, Coach Druka saying every point matters. And that's a message that he needs to hammer home to his team. Don't give up transition points. Don't let Lietkabelis increase their lead. Let's try and chip a little bit away in this final possession. 3.6 seconds to play. Surely they're looking for Foster to receive the inbound. Goes inside, Panini. He's not going to get it away as he gets it back to Copain. Gets the three away, but can't nail it. And this is a big, big night for Coach Chanak there and his team, Lietkabelis. Final score here in Panavaji. Lietkabelis 78, Holon 72. What a wonderful night of Basketball Champions League action we've had here in Lithuania, in Panavaji. The crowd that have gathered have certainly had a good time, and they've been treated to a wonderful performance from Lietkabelis. It was a cagey affair in the first half. Lietkabelis only scored 29 points in that first half, but they really ranked up and cranked up the offensive intensity in the second half. They scored 26 in the third quarter, 23 in the final quarter, outscoring Holon in both those quarters, and that's what's earned them the win. That man there, though, Sakic, as usual, making all the big headlines for Lietkabelis. Here are your game statistics. Both teams shooting identical from the perimeter. Holon continue their efficiency inside, but look at that. 21 from 22 free throws for Lietkabelis. That is clinical from the free throw line. Also 13 offensive rebounds has helped their cause with second chance points as well. Game day 7 has been an interesting one here. Sakic 22 points, Dimsha 16, Normantis 11 for Lietkabelis, 22 for Foster, 15 for Howell, and 11 for Copain for Holon. What a game we have had. Breathless from start to finish. So many twists and turns we have been treated to here. And it really is a great advert for international basketball. As I said, a cagey first half exploded in the second half. Both teams lighting it up from the perimeter in the second half. For Lietkabelis, obviously, Jelko Sakic, phenomenal performance from him. In 28.5 minutes, he scored 22 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, had a couple of assists and a steal to his name, a 22 rating efficiency. Another big, big night from the veteran player there. Dimsha also performed well with 16 points. Also in double digits was Paulius Valinskis with 11 and Margiris Normantis with 11 as well. Just wonderful, wonderful play across the board from Lietkabelis, and it was going to need to be if they were going to be a high-flying, high-scoring Holon side. Holon, as you would expect, led by Marcus Foster. He picked up 22 points and 4 assists in his performance. The big man, Howe, had 15 points, 13 rebound, double-double this evening. 21-point efficiency rating as well. Great night at the office for him. And then Troy Copain, the other Holon player, in double digits, 12 points, 7 assists for him. Just not enough, though. No real contribution from the bench for Holon, and that might have cost them in this game. Both these teams now will finish the halfway stage of the Basketball Champions League with the same record, 3 wins, 4 losses here in Group A of the Basketball Champions League. And Lietkabelis now on a nice little streak, 3-game winning streak for them, as they once again have a home game next week. Sassari will be the team that they welcome next Tuesday here in Panavici. As for Holon, they're on the road again next week as they take on Turk Telekom. That one's on Wednesday. And that will be interesting. Both these teams now teetering around that 4th place. As I said in the pre-game build-up, every team in Group A has played every other team now. You've had your sighter. You know which teams you're going to compete against, where your problems come, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and how you can exploit other teams. And it really is down to both these teams to work out exactly how they go forward. But that wraps up game day 7 here in Panavici. There's your current table. Lietkabelis move up into 4th spot. Holon move down into 5th. But still, the other results from Group A still to come into that group standings table before we can see a finalised one. But that wraps everything up here in Panavici. Game day 7 in Group A. Lietkabelis 78, Holon 72.